Emperor Georgiou's Star Trek timeline explained in chronological order. Few Star Trek characters have traveled as far across space, time, and universes as Emperor Philippa Georgiou. Portrayed with commanding brilliance by Michelle Yeoh, Georgiou has evolved from Terran tyrant to reluctant hero, from ruthless conqueror to Federation ally. Her journey through the Star Trek Discovery timeline is unlike any other in the franchise, touching nearly every major era and exploring the boundaries between morality, loyalty, and identity. Let's explore Emperor Georgiou's complete Star Trek timeline, told in chronological order, from her rise to power in the Mirror Universe to her upcoming adventures in Star Trek. Section 31. 1. The Rise of the Terran Emperor Mirror Universe, 22nd 23rd century. Before she ever set foot in the Prime Universe, Philippa Georgiou was one of the most feared figures in her galaxy. Born in the Mirror Universe, an alternate reality where the Terran Empire rules through brutality and oppression, Georgiou rose through the Imperial Starfleet ranks with cunning, ruthlessness, and unmatched tactical brilliance. Unlike her Prime counterpart, who believed in compassion and diplomacy, Emperor Georgiou conquered through fear. Her empire spanned multiple sectors, and her flagship, the ISS Karen, was a symbol of overwhelming power. She ruled the Terran Empire with an iron fist, annihilating rebellion wherever it sparked. Her court was filled with spies, assassins, and traitors waiting for a moment to strike. Georgiou survived them all. Even her most trusted officers, like Gabriel Lorca, plotted against her. Lorca's failed coup would set into motion the chain of events that eventually tore her from her own universe. In the Mirror Universe's 23rd century, Georgiou's reign was supreme, but unstable. The cracks in her empire mirrored the instability of the Terran mindset itself. Dominance without balance, power without compassion. 2. Betrayal and the Fall of the Emperor Mirror Universe, 2256. The events that would change everything for Georgiou began with one man, Lorca. Pretending to be his Prime Universe counterpart, Mirror Lorca manipulated events to overthrow the Emperor. His goal was not only to seize her throne, but to bring the Terran Empire under his brand of chaos and rebellion. During Star Trek Discovery Season 1, Emperor Georgiou's empire was at the height of its glory when the USS Discovery and Michael Burnham accidentally crossed over from the Prime Universe. Burnham, already mourning the death of her universe's Georgiou, was horrified to find this twisted version alive and ruling with cold arrogance. When Lorca's coup was finally exposed, the Emperor and Burnham were forced into an uneasy alliance to stop him. Their confrontation aboard the Karen became one of Discovery's most dramatic moments. Burnham helped defeat Lorca, but in the chaos, the Karen was destroyed. Rather than leave Georgiou to die, Burnham made a shocking choice. She rescued the Mirror Emperor and brought her back to the Prime Universe. That decision would have massive consequences for both universes. 3. Stranded in the Prime Universe Discovery Season 1 finale. Now a refugee in a universe that mirrored everything she despised, Georgiou had to adapt quickly. In the Prime Universe, the Terran Empire didn't exist. Her people were reviled as warmongers, and her methods were barbaric by Federation standards. Despite her disgust for the Federation's idealism, Georgiou found herself intrigued by it, especially because of Burnham. This version of her daughter represented the best of what the Mirror Universe lacked: empathy, loyalty, and hope. However, Georgiou remained a predator. When Starfleet realized who she truly was, they couldn't send her back, but they also couldn't let her roam freely. Instead, she was quietly recruited by a shadowy organization that shared her love for manipulation and control. Section 31. This secretive branch of Starfleet dealt in espionage, sabotage, and morally gray operations, the perfect new home for the former emperor. Bore the birth of Section 31's deadliest operative Discovery Season 2, 2257. By Discovery Season 2, Georgiou had reinvented herself. No longer an emperor, she was now Agent Georgiou, an operative of Section 31, working under the enigmatic Leland. Her ruthless efficiency and understanding of power made her invaluable. But Georgiou wasn't content to take orders. She subtly undermined her superiors, manipulated events behind the scenes, and even tested the moral boundaries of the crew. She maintained a sarcastic rapport with Captain Pike and Spock, often highlighting the hypocrisy of Starfleet's supposed moral superiority. What set Georgiou apart from other Terrans, however, was her growing humanity. Though she never admitted it outright, Burnham's influence began to soften her edges. She learned that strength didn't always come from domination, and that trust, however fragile, could be a powerful weapon. By the end of Season 2, Georgiou had helped Discovery defeat Control, the rogue AI threatening all sentient life. But when Discovery jumped 930 years into the future, Georgiou went with them, accidentally catapulting her centuries out of her own time. 5. The 32nd Century and the Breakdown of Reality. Discovery Season 3, 3188. When Discovery arrived in the 32nd century, Georgiou's sharp wit and imperial instincts initially gave her an advantage in this strange new world. However, it quickly became clear that something was wrong. Her molecular stability began to deteriorate. She was literally falling apart. The problem stemmed from two factors. She was a traveler from both another universe and another time. The combined displacement caused her atoms to destabilize, leading to memory loss, hallucinations, and physical pain. Desperate for answers, Burnham took Georgiou to a mysterious planet called Danis V, where they encountered an enigmatic being known as the Guardian of Forever, a sentient gateway capable of manipulating time and space. The Guardian revealed the truth. Georgiou couldn't survive in the Prime Universe's future. Her body was incompatible with the universe's timeline. But he offered her a choice, to return to a time and place where she could live again. 6. Redemption through reflection. Danis V trial, 3188. Before sending her back, the Guardian of Forever tested Georgiou's soul. He thrust her into a simulation of her past, back in the mirror universe, during her reign. There, she was forced to confront her choices, her cruelty, her paranoia, and the consequences of ruling through fear. Georgiou tried to change the past by saving Mirror Burnham from becoming a traitor. She hoped that compassion might undo the endless cycle of betrayal that defined the Terran Empire. But it was too late. The mirror universe itself was too broken, too soaked in blood. Even with her newfound understanding, Georgiou couldn't rewrite her history. Yet the Guardian saw something extraordinary in her: growth. Having proven that she was no longer the same ruthless despot she once was, Georgiou was sent through the Guardian's portal to another time and place, where she might continue to evolve. 7. The Guardian's Gift. A new beginning. Temporal displacement. Unknown era. When Georgiou stepped through the portal, she vanished from the Discovery timeline. Starfleet recorded her as missing in action, but the Guardian hinted that she had been placed somewhere she could make a difference. The destination was never explicitly revealed, but it set up Michelle Yeoh's return in Star Trek, Section 31, where we'll finally learn where and when she ended up. Based on production details, Georgiou likely reappears sometime around the late 23rd or early 24th century, an era ripe with covert operations, political tension, and moral ambiguity. Her unique blend of brutality and insight makes her the perfect leader for Section 31's clandestine missions. If the Guardian sent her to this period, it would create a fascinating paradox: a Terran emperor guiding the Federation's